Welcome back. The 5th-ranked Augustana women's basketball team continues to dominate in the Northern Sun. Their most recent victory over Bemidji State marks 7 wins in a row, and the Vikings have won 13 of their last 15 true road games. For more on this outstanding season, head coach Dave Krauth joins our Elaina Lanson in studio. Elaina.
Thanks, Kelly, and thanks, Coach, for joining us. 29th year at Augustana, 21-1 overall, and 17-1 in the SIC. You guys are top of the NSIC South right now. What are you most proud of your players for at this point in the season?
You know, when you try to go most or worst or best, you know, those kind of things sometimes, you know, it's hard to pinpoint. But I'm just, you know, we've been pretty consistent, and I think that's you know, something we're always striving for in our business. Never as consistent as you want to be, but I think you know, we just had a lot of contributors, and one of those seasons that you know, to this point has been, you know, one that we're proud of.
And you have 4 of the top 5 scorers returning. You knew it was going to be a good year. How have they grown this season in their own rights?
You know, early in the year, when I could kind of see that we were maybe playing just a little better than probably the same players, almost the same team a year ago, it just seemed like that they took a step maturity-wise, and you know, and I'm, you know, sort of suggesting it's, you know, on the court maturity, where they sort of figured out, you know, in that team sport, sometimes you know, if you do the little things, you know, you can just reap rewards. And that's probably what I noticed about this team, and particularly, you know, with 5 seniors. They're just mature, and maybe decision-making has gotten better.
Absolutely. Attention to detail is always big. And let's talk about you for a minute. 2 wins away from reaching the 600 mark, and you have a great chance of that this weekend. What would 600 mean to you?
Well, I'm not, you know, I'm not a numbers watcher, maybe like some. I mean, that's a nice plateau to get to. You know, if it would happen this weekend, that'd be great, and it'll probably happen sooner or later, and you'd always like it to be sooner. When you get to kind of milestone type games, I tend to think back not only to the current kids and team or teams, or most recent, but you know, just all the players and teams that we've had over the years. And quite frankly, in my situation, because I've been at Augie now 29 years, I mean, we only talk about the college years, but I had quite a few high school seasons prior to the college ranks, and I even think back to those days from time to time. So it's kind of a compilation of many years, most of them fun.
Very fun. And a rival this weekend, Sioux Falls Friday. How will you use this game and the remaining 3 in the regular season to get ready for the tournament coming up in about 2 weeks?
Well, I think, you know, when you throw in what is maybe our biggest rivalry now, only being a couple blocks apart, and we've had really good games in recent years, split in a couple of recent years. I know it isn't something where I feel like, you know, I somehow am going to get them inspired, and they should be ready for this. But I think it might create some of the emotions and things that we might see and experience with postseason. So I hope it's you know, one of those learning steps for us.
In talking postseason, how are you going to get them mentally prepared and mentally focused heading into tournament time?
You know, I think about those kind of things occasionally. You know, getting too far down the road is a tough thing to do, because we've been a bubble team the last 2 to 3 years, and then, you know, we're off the bubble and didn't get selected. So, you know, you don't want to go too far out and plan, but we'll be in the conference tournament and should have home games. But just trying to recreate situations and, you know, just learn from what you're doing each week, I think, is what we try to do, and have them as mentally ready as we can be come, you know, elimination time.
And they've been really strong on the defensive end in the past in conference play. What should we expect to see from them this year?
You know, I think, you know, ponder some of the things we do, and as if it's some kind of a science, which it really isn't. But we've probably gotten a little more conservative with our defense in recent weeks, where this team is one that can really thrive on creating offense with our defense, and we'll probably do some more of that. And yet, I'm just finding I'm getting a little more conservative, and sometimes to press or to really ramp it up on the defensive end. We may just do that, at least for stretches, just to get us going and almost get that tempo up where we like it. But those are things that we've done. We'll continue to do it. But tournament time, it just seems like teams start to adjust and then maybe get a little cautious too.
Well, thank you so much, Coach, for the insight, and we're looking forward to tournament time just as you are, and this weekend. And Kelly, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, guys. Augie is in action tomorrow night against rival Sioux Falls, as Elaina said. That game can be found live on Midco SN2. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. from Sioux Falls Arena. When we come back, we'll talk SDSU women's basketball, hear from head coach Aaron Johnston about the Jacks' most recent wins and what lies ahead in the regular season. This is Midco Sports Tonight.